Hello everyone, this is section 8.4, part 2 for geometry. And now we're looking at a little more difficult type of questions, where maybe we have 3 parallel lines. But again, we can still use the box method we learned about in 8.4, part 1. So, here we go. Let's look at this and let's solve. So, here is our box. Remember, you want to box in your values. Some students like to draw a separate box, whatever works for you. We've got 120, 150, 300, and I don't know what this one is, so we're going to put an X. Remember, cut those values down the middle, set them equal, and cross multiply. So we get 150X equals 36,000. Divide by 150, because that's pretty much the way we solve these. We're going to get X is 240. Now, what makes this section just a little bit different is sometimes you're going to have to do an extra step. Now, if we look at what they actually want, they want HF. They want this whole thing. Well, we know this part is 240. And this part is 120, so the whole thing is 360. All right, let's look at our next thing. Same thing again, box method. Now, like we said, this section is just a little bit more difficult because the setup or the extra steps at the end. Well, if we do the box method here, we for sure got our 7 and our 13. Now, this whole thing is 15, but we don't want to know the whole thing. We want to know this part. That way we can draw our line and get our 4 numbers. Well, I know the whole thing is 15. And I know this part right here is X. So I guess this part would be 15 take away the X. So if you got rid of this, well, look, we just have this part left. So that section is 15 minus X. And our fourth number is this X. So we cross multiply. 7X. Equals, distribute, 195 minus 13X. And now it's an Algebra 1 question. So let's solve it. Add 13X, 20X equals 195. Divide by 20. X is 9.75. There we go. So again, like I said, we're just using the box method again. Or the square method, or whatever you want to call it. All right, so here's the last 4 we're going to look at. We're actually going to change number 6 to something that's a little more interesting. So we've got X, 20. This whole side is going to be 18. This is 10. And we're going to figure that one out. But first, let's look at this box. We have 16. Don't know. X equals 40 over 30. Cross multiply. 40X equals 480. Divide by 40. X is 12. Same thing over here. Box it in. This is X. So we get 16 over 15 equals X over 18. Again, cross multiply. 15 times X is 15X. 16 times 18 is 288. Divide by 15. And you get X is 19.2. So again, box method, box method, box method, box method, square method, whatever you want to call it. Here we go. Now this one, we got to slightly just turn it. There's actually our box. There we go. 24 over 48 equals 14 over x. So 24x, 14 times 48 is 672. Divide by 24, and we get x is 28. Okay, so nothing too interesting about those, box method. This one's a little bit different, though. So in our box, we have x and 20, 10, but we don't know this part. But again, remember what we talked about earlier. You know the whole thing is 18. You don't want the 10, so you can subtract 18, take away 10. This gives you 8. There we go. Let's solve this. 8x equals 200. Divide by 8. And we get that x is 25. And there we go. We're done. So that is section 8.4, part 2. Make sure you do the big ideas, practice these, but again, it's just using the box method, the square method, whatever you want to call it, to set up your proportions, cross multiply, and solve. Until next time, see you later.